Hello, my name's Richard Larondo. I'm the managing broker with REMAX West Coast here in Richmond, British Columbia, on what is another beautiful fall winter day. I wanted to talk to you today briefly about offers subject to sale. In the years leading up to today, the market had been so active that frankly the popularity of subject to sale offers had greatly declined. But more recently, as the market is in a balanced environment, subject to sale offers are now being seen again. So I thought it was worth visiting the subject. Remember, there's a different take on this, whether you're approaching this from a buyer's perspective or a seller's perspective. So let's start first from a seller's perspective. Firstly, I think having a subject to sale offer can be a very good thing. But you want to ensure that through your agent, you're making suitable inquiries about the property being sold. Firstly, let's ensure that it is in fact listed for sale. Let's have your agent make an independent review as to the saleability of the property. How does it show? Where is it located? How's it priced? You have a keen interest in the saleability of the property if you're going to accept a subject to sale offer. Your other consideration is that your realtor is going to ensure that you have a time clause in the offer. What's a time clause? It allows you to accept a second offer in a backup position subject to the collapse of the originally accepted offer by giving notice to the first buyer that will require them to remove their subject to sale and any other subjects that they may have on the property within a stipulated time frame. Now, from your perspective as a seller, you want that time frame to be shorter versus longer, but it'll be put on balance with negotiations through the buyer's agent. From a buyer's perspective, you really want to ensure that you are able to come to the table in the subject to sale environment demonstrating that your property is in fact for sale, strong marketing efforts in place, properly priced, shows well, those kinds of things. We want to be able to demonstrate that it's a realistic option that this property is going to be sold within the time frame put forward in the offer. But again, as we talked about with the seller's side on this, there is going to be a time clause built in the offer where the seller will reserve the right to give you notice requiring you to remove all your subjects, and it may only be the subject to sale that's left at this point, requiring you to remove all your subjects within a stipulated period of time. Now that time period can vary based on negotiations, but it would typically be on the short end of 24 hours, on the longer end of 72 hours. Other variables will be whether or not Saturday and Sundays are included in that time frame. Perhaps statutory holidays are exempted from counting within that time frame. From your perspective, the buyer's perspective, the more time that you have from a notice perspective, the better. But the other thing that you really ought to give some consideration to, visit your lender, your financial advisor. Have the discussion with them that if you were called on your time clause, are you in a position to own two homes? Perhaps you don't need to have that conversation. Perhaps even if you can afford to do it, you don't wish to do it. But perhaps the advice of the financial advisor as to whether or not it's even an option would help in that decision process. Don't wait until you're given your time clause before having that discussion. Hope this has been helpful. Good luck in your real estate hunting.